Chris Berlow, thank you so much for coming on here. I'm going to talk to you about your journey using AI to help with your business. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about your business. Like, what do you run? How many people? How long have you been at it?
My martial arts, I opened up in 1999. So I had a single location. I took out a $10,000 loan at 25% interest. I bought mats and a bunch of uniforms and a dream. And my goal was to have 100 students in the first year, and we had 200 students. And we grew from there. Purchased my building in 2008, built our building from the ground up. Second location in 2016, which my son operates. And then over the last couple of years, we acquired two other martial arts schools. So our organization we have four schools strong, doing very well, thanks to a lot of the work that you have done with us. So we're very grateful. We're servicing about, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,200 students right now. Revenue, one of our locations is looking to exceed $2 million in a single location. Other location is on track to hit $1 million, and the other ones we're growing. So let's just say that.
Well, the other ones are newly acquired. I don't think it's
Right.
newly acquires a business and then explodes immediately. Maybe
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we are moving into a new site, and we're very hopeful for the opportunities.
and how many employees do you have across the schools?
About 45 employees.
And obviously, you're the leader of the organization as it's growing. So, walk me through like a typical day in your life running this business? Like, what are you actually doing on the computer on the daily to help run this
Mm.
business?
Okay. Oh my goodness. I manage the books, income statements, obviously profitability, all of that stuff. That's on a regular. As far as marketing, they will create and then they run it through me. Again, you've had the opportunity to work with them. My other business, I have a coaching business where I do spend a lot more time on the computer with. And the task that I do with that is a lot of times I've used AI to clean up whatever writing or content that I would create. And it's definitely been trained to listen to my voice. I've used the knowledge that you've given me especially over the last 8 weeks or so, as far as having the standards that I want to make that are consistent in what I've been writing. And I write content both for my coaching business, Empowered Mastery, also for the martial arts organization.
So far, based on some of the AI skills that you've acquired and knowledge, how is that actually, besides like writing, okay, how much
Mm.
time does that actually save you? Or what does that actually do for you on a daily basis?
A lot. How would I quantify what it has done for me? So we have a program creating a template that is followed consistently. So for example, we have our clients create what we call a worthy ideal. Worthy ideal is like their why statement and mission statement. So what I did is put in the parameters, put in their information, create it with these parameters, and then it would bring out a well-polished worthy ideal statement. So that is an example. This is probably the biggest one. A client will do a coaching call. I put the transcript, I do them on Zoom, put it into the AI tool that I created. It will give me a well-written recap in an email that I could just send to the client. That's probably been the most valuable thing that I've created so far.
Why do you think that's valuable for you?
Saves time. I don't need to read through everything and recap. It's in my voice. It sounds like me. It's not AI script. It sounds very personable, and it gives them the reminders, and it makes me look much more professional.
How much time do you think it actually saves you from reading through the transcript and then writing up your email? How much time per client would you say it actually saves you?
20 minutes
Per client.
per client. 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay. What does that actually get back to you, like that 20 minutes? Like, what does that add up to?
20 minutes, 20 clients every 2 weeks I meet. So 20 is 400 minutes. And it's unbelievable because I wasn't doing it before. I
Yeah.
would say the one-liner. So all the clients are very appreciative of this process. Receiving it, recap, they read it, they like it. But yeah, definitely saves about 20 minutes per client.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And like when you add that up at scale, that's where it makes
Yes.
a difference, right?
Yeah.
What about, is there something you built that your team runs now, or that maybe without you even asking? Like, walk me through what happens when someone touches it. What do they do? Or maybe what you're no longer doing.
One of my guys, partners, Master Tracy, has been very on top of it. You've worked with him as well. He is using AI for a lot of the marketing. They have utilized it for automatic responses. They have utilized it for creating the marketing that goes out to the students, that goes out for the social media, especially. What else have they done? They've definitely used it for all of the letters, for all of the consistency of the branding.
Before we started, did you worry that a customer or a client or student would get something that didn't sound like you, like an email or text, that you would worry that they would feel a robot wrote it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, it turns my stomach if I look on social media and I see those AI written posts. That was a conversation I had with my team. The balance between efficiency and personalization. I don't think efficiency is going to benefit anybody if it doesn't sound like us, if it's not personable. So one of the standards that we definitely put into play, and again, I appreciate the work that we've done because it helped me understand it much better on the power of that tool to make it sound, actually programming it to sound like a human being by saying, eliminate this, eliminate that, don't make it sound like this, make it sound like this. That was extremely powerful. And anything that gets communicated with the customers, the clients, the students, always has to sound like a human. There has to be a very strong human personal element to it. That's the standard that we've set.
So, how's that actually impact you or make you feel when, like, you now are able to create content written or emails written that sound in your voice? Like the first time you actually do that, right? You put the information in what you want it to say, makes it in your voice, and you can send it out confidently, whether it's your team with a social media post or something, or an email that actually sounds like you. Like, were you surprised by that? Were you like, oh, like,
I tested it. I tested it with my wife just the other day. So I'm writing a book and it's been unbelievably helpful in that process because again, I don't want to write a book that sounds like it's AI. So I wrote my segment. It was just whatever it was, 1,000 words. And I said to my wife, read this, what I wrote, I put it into AI. It rewrote it in my voice and made me sound like an adult, right? So sometimes
oh,
my
no.
writing on like an eighth grade reading level. So wrote it and sounded articulate. And I asked her which one sounds better. She goes, wow, that makes you sound so much smarter. I go, I know, but it's the same message. She goes, absolutely. Does it sound like me? Yes. I said, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
So I think that is one of the biggest, I'd say the biggest benefits that I've received. And I also know that I'm just literally touching the surface of what it could be. Excited. I am very excited. And what we've accomplished with it, again, through even the book that we've been doing, the book was definitely written by me in human voice, but the process of it, literally, I feel like I'm having a conversation with the computer, with AI, with Claude in general, and saying, what do you think of this? How does this sound? Does it sound consistent with the tone? And it's responding honest feedback, yes and no, that I found has been invaluable. And I listen. I check it, but I listen.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And the fact it can save you time, I feel more confident in your writing, and it passed the wife test.
That's right. The white test. That's a
Live
big
test, that's great. And you could have waited a year to start this. You could have waited 6 months, but you're like, "Hey, I wanna learn how to use AI in my business right now," and so your team can do it as well. Why is this so important, do you think, for yourself or for business owners in general right now to learn how to actually implement this stuff?
because you're going to fall behind if you don't. Right? This is not going anywhere. In this world, we're just touching the surface of its capabilities. And I'm sure there's technology out there far beyond what we can imagine that already exists that you may know about because you're pretty invested in it, but I have no clue. So I think it's the way of the future and we're living in the future now. So I think any business owner has to be able to utilize it as a tool to better themselves and better their business, better their organization, and not resist it because it's not going anywhere.
What about for people in your industry? Were you ever skeptical that it could work in, let's say, the martial arts industry, which is very relationship driven and personal connection driven?
I think it's very effective. I think it will help streamline business elements. I think it will help with communication, effective communication, responsiveness, as long as that human element stays intact. I don't think AI should be used as a replacement. I think it should be used as an enhancement for the business.
And then how would you categorize yourself in terms of like your tech ability? Could you consider yourself a tech computer person, not a tech computer person on a scale of 1 to 10?
Three, three. Yeah, I would say three. I'm good. I'm okay. Right. I can get around. I can navigate through, but it is not easy for me.
And then were you using ChatGPT or Claude
I was
for
using
coding?
ChatGPT until we started working together on this, and now I switched over to Claude.
Okay, cool. And then someone is kind of similar to you. They've been running a business for a long time, doing well. Maybe they're expanding and they want to formalize a lot of the systems they have and then make it AI capable and make their employees AI capable so they know how to use these features in order to be more productive and more coordinated in their efforts, right? Everyone has the same voice from the same, and it's like really protects the brand. So let's say there's someone reading this right now and they can't decide if like, hey, I should really invest time and money into their education to implement. What would you say to someone like that?
I would say you have no choice but to do it. I said, because if you want your business to grow, and it depends whatever the objectives are, right? Yes, AI will be industry specific, but I think one thing that you have to know, if you don't utilize it to its whatever capability, you're going to be left behind. And people are going to be doing it in your same industry, and you're going to be like, what the heck happened? They're going to surpass you. Again, I think a lot of people still fear it at some point, right? I think there is fear because they don't understand it. I'll tell you the most powerful AI story I ever heard, which I found it to be fascinating, is I have a half brother who's genius. Literally, he's like trying to cure pediatric cancer. And I told him, yeah, I'm really scared of this stuff. I'm thinking Terminator stuff and all this stuff, right? And he
Mhm.
said to me, he goes, well, don't fear it, embrace it. He goes, what we're doing is we're taking all of the toxins and comparing it into chemotherapies, right? All the cocktails, and we're finding out what are the commonalities of what's not needed, and we're eliminating a lot of the toxins from the chemo. So now through AI, they're doing what would take weeks and months and years in like milliseconds. And I found that's when I was realizing, wow, this could be really good for consistencies and inconsistencies in business, in processes, in systems, and then just makes a big difference. So I found that to be the most powerful and compelling story. And that is where I became a believer in the capabilities.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on here